Yarn sensation. Just click on my yarn lady or click the subscribe button. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Yarn Sensation, and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. And what I wanted to share is this crochet pattern for your 18-inch American doll. It's a doll dress and it did fit my 18-inch doll, and you can use any 4 medium weight yarn that you prefer. You can change the colors, use whatever color you like, and I said optional for stitch markers. And the reason I said optional, because you may not need to use the stitch markers. I only use mainly 2 of them. Since the rows are so long, it just gave me a viewpoint to get to the other side, if you know what I'm saying. And I used the other 2 at the end of the project, and that gave me the alignment I needed to put my stitches in when I closed the back of the dress. And also 1 button. And the reason I'm using that 1 button, because at the top the dress does fit tight, but using certain amount of chain stitches will give you the gap that you need for the closure on the back end. Don't worry, I will explain all of that once we get to that point in the video. And I hope you enjoy making this little doll dress for your doll. And once you have your tools, we can get started. You will start with a chain of 65. Next, for row 1, you will place a half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook, and each chain across you will have a total of 63 half double crochets. You can place a stitch marker in your half double crochet. I will be placing a stitch marker in my half double crochet, and it is mainly to keep up with my stitch when I turn my work to come back to start my next row. So I'm completing my last few half double crochets for row 1, and it is a long crochet piece for a doll dress. It will all work out in the end once we start decreasing our rows. For row 2, you want to chain 2, turn your work, and you will be placing 1 half double crochet in each stitch across. So my last stitch will be where I have my stitch marker. And once I complete my first half double crochet, I will be placing a stitch marker on this end as well, but I will be using a different color, and this just helps if I decide or need to walk away from my project and I'm keeping my little note on the side so I will know exactly which row that I'm on. I'm completing my last half double crochet, and I'm just going to complete this last half double crochet, and then I'll put my stitch marker in the last stitch, and I will repeat those steps for every row. So next we will be completing row 3, and for row 3 that will start our decrease rows, and then once you complete row 3 you will be completing rows 4 through 16, and those rows will be the same as row 3, but you will be losing 2 stitches each row. For row 3, you will chain 2, you will turn your work, you will complete a half double crochet in your first stitch, I will place my stitch marker into my first stitch, and I will repeat this step for each row. Next, you will complete a half double crochet decrease. Next, you want to complete a half double crochet in each stitch until you get to the last 3 stitches of this row. And we will meet back there. I am completing my half double crochets across. Now that I'm at the last 3 stitches, I want to complete a half double crochet decrease. And in my last stitch, or the stitch with my stitch marker, I will complete my last half double crochet. And this will be the same pattern for rows 4 through 16. So for row 4, you want to chain 2. And you will repeat your half double crochet in the first stitch, a half double crochet decrease. Then you want to complete your half double crochets across to the last 3 stitches. You will complete a half double crochet decrease and a half double crochet in the last stitch, and we will meet back at row 17. And while you're completing your work, I have included photos of my work as I completed each row. I have completed my rows 4 through 16. So next I will be completing row 17, and row 17 is a decrease row, just a little different. And we can get started with row 17. We want to chain 2, turn your work, you want to complete a half double crochet in your first stitch, complete a half double crochet decrease, you want to complete a half double crochet in the next 13 stitches. Next, you will be completing a half double crochet decrease. And next, you want to complete a half double crochet in each stitch to the last 3 stitches. Once you get to your last 3 stitches, you want to complete a half double crochet decrease, and you will complete a half double crochet decrease in your last stitch. Row 18, you will chain 1, turn your work, you will single crochet across. You will have a total of 32 single crochets. I am completing my last single crochet for row 18, and next we will be completing our stitches around the sides, the bottom, and the next side. So you want to single crochet around the side, then you will place 2 double crochet in each stitch along the bottom, and then you want to single crochet along the next side. You will start with a chain 1. You will place 1 single crochet in the next stitch and 1 single crochet in each stitch along the side. I had a total of 28 single crochets, and our stitches may vary, but make sure that the amount of single crochets that you have on the first side equals the second side. Once you complete your last single crochet, you can place a stitch marker in that stitch, and we will use this stitch once we complete our work to join our sides. It will just be our mark to know where to place our stitches. Once you complete your first side, our next step will be to double crochet along the bottom of our dress. You will place 2 double crochet in each stitch along the bottom, and we will meet back at the last stitch. And completing your double crochets along the bottom will give you a ruffle design. I completed the bottom of my dress, and this is the ruffle effect that was created by placing the 2 double crochets in each stitch. So next you will be completing your next side, and you just want to repeat the same as you did on the other. Remember to have the same amount of stitches. And to get started, I will be carrying my yarn tail and just place a single crochet into your first stitch and each stitch to the top. And if you're choosing to change color, we will change color at the last stitch of this side, and place a stitch marker in your first single crochet. and we will use our stitch markers as a guide when we're stitching together the sides at the end. Okay, so I am completing my last single crochet, but before I complete it, I want to change my color. Once you change your color, you want to chain 1. And next, you will not be turning your work. You will be completing row 1. You want to single crochet across. You will have a total of 32 single crochets, and I will be carrying my yarn tails about 8 stitches, and then I will cut my first color. I will not need it for the next couple of rows. So make sure you only cut your first yarn. You do not want to cut your second yarn at this time. And what I will do is just leave a small yarn tail, and that will just remind me that that is the wrong side of my fabric. And you just want to continue across, single crocheting. I'm completing my last single crochet. Next, I want to chain 1, turn my work. For row 2, I will single crochet across. I will have a total of 32 single crochets. I'm completing my last single crochet. So next we will prep our work for the armholes. You will need 2 stitch markers, you want to count over to the 11th stitch and place your stitch marker, and you repeat the same for the other side. For row 3, you want to chain 1, turn your work, you want to place 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. For the armhole, you want to chain 12. Next, you will skip the 5 stitches before your stitch marker, and you want to join in the stitch with your stitch marker with a single crochet, and to add a little cute design to the top, you will be placing a single crochet in the stitch below this stitch marker. And we will repeat those steps across to the next stitch marker. So place a single crochet in the next stitch, and then place a single crochet in the stitch below, and repeat those steps to the next stitch marker. Once you get to your stitch marker, you want to complete a single crochet in that stitch and a single crochet in the stitch below, and you want to chain 12 for the next armhole. You will skip over 5 stitches, and you want to complete a single crochet in the last 5 stitches of this row. So we have completed the top of our dress, and we have the armholes and a little design in the front. So next I will be chaining 6 for my button, and you can choose to chain the amount that you need for the button that you prefer to use. And once you complete that, you want to slip stitch in the stitch below, fasten off your work. Next, you want to turn your work to the wrong side. Grab your yarn needle or your tapestry needle, and you want to weave in your yarn tail. And at this time, if you have any other yarn tails, you can weave them in now, or you can wait until we complete the project. Next, you want to fold your sides together so your right side will be inside, and what you're looking at now is the wrong side. And we will be single crocheting our sides together. So next you need your crochet hook and the first color that you use, and you want to place your hook in the same stitch, but we are using the back loops only on both sides, or the loops that are the inner, I would say the inner loops, and you want to place your hook into the next stitch with that stitch marker and just join your yarn. Once you join your yarn, you want to complete your single crochet, and if you like, you can carry your yarn tail and just place one single crochet in each stitch. Remember to only use the inner loops or the back loops. And you want to repeat your single crochets to the top of your work. And when I say the top, I'm referring to the first color. So the color that you're using to single crochet your sides together, you want to complete your last single crochet in that stitch. Once you complete your last single crochet, you want to fasten off your work and weave in any yarn tails that you have. Once you complete weaving in your yarn tails, you want to turn your dress back to the right side, and you can apply the button of your choice. And what I would recommend before stitching your button onto the dress is place your dress onto your doll and see exactly where you need that button for the closure in the back. And I hope you enjoyed making this cute little dress for your doll. And remember, you can change up the colors, just play with it a little. Once you get also to row, before you complete row 17, you can place it on your doll then as well, just to see if you need to decrease another row or if you can continue as the pattern suggests, but that would be a good idea at that point to place it on your doll. And I just want to thank you so much for spending a little time with Yarn Sensation. Thank you.